Hello, everybody. Alex Green here today.
Josh Muncy, head football and wrestling coach at Martin County High School and teammate of Derrick Mollett.
And as you guys saw by the opening, this is a memorial video for Derrick Mollett, class of 2001, Sheldon Clark High School 145-pound state champion. Now, sadly, this is a memorial video for Derrick. He passed away as of this filming last week. His funeral was a few days before this, and we had contacted Derrick several times throughout the start of the season or of the series to do his memorial video. We would get in contact, had his phone number, had him on Facebook, and every time we would get together, we just couldn't. He had work obligation, or I had something going on. We just couldn't get it together, and sadly he passed away. And I thought, what a more fitting tribute than one of his teammates that won a state championship the same year to set in and also be the head wrestling coach at Martin County High School now. In case you don't know, Sheldon Clark is Martin County High School. They just moved up the road about a mile to a beautiful new building where we're at today. And Josh, his teammate, like he said, is the head football and head wrestling coach at Martin County. So Josh, kind of walk us through, do you remember Derrick being on the team in middle school, or did he start as a freshman, or how does he find wrestling?
Okay, so my first experience with Derrick would have been, I moved to Sheldon Clark my sophomore year.
Okay.
So I started wrestling in Ohio as a freshman, and the summer after my freshman year, we came down to visit family, and we were camping over at Jenny Wiley, and that's where I met Derrick.
Okay.
Prior to me moving here, and so we talked wrestling, and that's when I first met Derrick, and then we ended up moving here a few months later, and became teammates after that. So as far as how Derrick found wrestling, I'm not sure, but I know that it was at least prior to his freshman year, because that's when we met.
Okay. All right.
Camping. So
that's cool. Now, we, of course, have Derrick's bracket, and in doing the research, I've got him in 1998, well, the bracket does, have him in 1998, making it to a state tournament, 130 pounds, but he doesn't place. He goes on in 1999, 135 pounds. He gets third place at 135. He gets an 11-0 decision over Will Farrington from Wayne County. Now shout out to our friend Andy Critchfield from Henry Clay. He gets a win over Andy 6-4 in the Constellation round to go to third place. And in 1999, Sheldon Clark come in third place. Had a phenomenally stacked team. Had Billy Clark third place, Derrick third place, Josh Stepp video on the channel, first place most outstanding wrestler. Howie Salmon, sixth place, 152. And then Joey Stepp, heavyweight, that video is on the channel as well, second place. Now in 2000, 145 pounds, third place. He gets a 6-3 decision over Tyler Hardy of Campbell County. And the 1999, 2000, man, that Sheldon Clark was rolling. I mean, all the way from, I've got it here on the back, from 1999 through 2004, Sheldon Clark had a state finalist or state champion for 14 out of 15 years. The only exception to that was 2000. And in 1994, 1995, Sheldon Clark, of course, won the team state championships. And, some of the names, Bruce Stepp, Chris Goss, Archie Stepp, Jeremy Rhodes, Scott Rhodes, Josh Priest, Josh Muncy, John Dials, video on the channel, Derrick, Billy Clark, Xavier, Dan Muncy, Ryan Kelly, Branson Smith. I mean, just phenomenal group of wrestlers that Sheldon Clark has produced over the years. And of course, we'll get to it, but in 2001, Sheldon Clark had 3 state champions.
3 finalists, three state champions.
So going into that 2001 season, you guys had a stacked team. You had, you, John, Derrick, Billy Clark,
Xavier Manning, who eventually won a state title. Dan Muncy eventually won a state title.
John Thompson in the
Two-time
finals.
state finalist, yeah.
So when you guys go in, after football season, because kind of, you guys all played football.
Yeah.
So how's your football season in? Refresh our memory on that.
My senior year, we lost in the regional championship to Rockcastle County, 7-6.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. It was like 8-7, 7-6. It was
7-6. Went for 2 in the win, and we lost.
Yeah. So kind of football season ends. Going in, does the team, are they like, okay, we can do something special this year as far as like winning a team title? We can have 4 or 5 guys on the podium. How
sure.
Do you guys?
Yeah. We always assumed that we were in contention. We had a great team, but now a lot of those guys, we had a lot of young guys on the team, and so other than our 3 seniors that we had, and then obviously we had our 3 seniors that were state champions, and then Billy Clark, who was a junior that year, had appendicitis prior to the state tournament. Didn't get to wrestle in the state tournament, but I think was ranked first, and a favorite to win.
Yeah.
But then those younger guys, Xavier was a sophomore, Dan Muncy, my brother, was a freshman. We had a lot of freshmen that year, Andy Chafin and Brandon Mahon and those guys. So Forrest Newsome. So we knew we had potential. We also knew we were young.
Okay.
So.
Well, and it should be said that Billy, the next year, 112-pound state champion, Tech falls like in the second period.
Yeah. And the week prior to the state tournament, he won the regional championship against Doug Upchurch, who won the state tournament the following week when Billy medical forfeited out due to appendicitis.
I'm glad you said that because also Doug wins the most pins and least amount of time award.
That's correct.
So, I mean...
Yeah, he tore through that bracket.
And 3 of I think there was 19 Martin County Sheldon Clark state champions. I believe that's the number. 1993, you had Bruce and Archie win it together too. And then I think it was 97, you had Jeremy Rhodes and Josh Priest win it.
Yeah.
So you guys had 3 in 2001. Possible, I mean, very, very, very likely that Billy, you guys would have had 4 standing on that number 1.
We could have had 4.
On that number 1 podium. St. Xavier won the team title. That I don't know if the points would have equaled out. You guys probably would have been second or third.
Not sure. That was the first year that they did the KHSAA small school. They recognized a small school. And I believe maybe LaRue got it that year. I'm not sure.
So let's go over Derrick's bracket. Now, all 3 of you guys win the region. I'm sure probably, I'm not saying going away, but probably, not too much of an effort, I would have to imagine.
Yeah, we all 3 won the region.
Okay. Now, when we get to the finals, we're going to talk about this, but the first round that Derrick has, he's wrestling Gilbert Brown from Christian County. He wins that by a fall, 3 minutes and 4 seconds. In the quarterfinals, he's wrestling Jason Harris from Connor. He wins that by a fall in 3 minutes and 23 seconds. He gets to the finals, or the semifinals, my bad. He's wrestling Paul Miller, not Paul Miller Ford there in Lexington, but Paul Miller from St. Xavier. Paul goes in to get 6th place. He wins that by an 18-3 tech fall.
Yeah.
You don't accidentally make it to the state finals by 2 pins and a tech fall.
No.
You just don't do that. But here's the cool part about this, and this is why what you guys are getting ready to watch with Derrick's match is so impressive. He's wrestling Chad Dalton from Simon Kenton. Now let's go through Chad's bracket. We rarely do this, but it struck me off guard here. First round, he gets a tech fall, 17-2. Second round, he's wrestling Kevin Rodriguez, Wayne County, fall, 5 minutes, 41 seconds. Semifinals, he's wrestling Brandon Payne from LaRue County, tech fall, 16-0. So you've got 2 guys in the finals that have pinned or tech fall their entire way through the state tournament.
Collision course, yeah.
So you've got the 2 best in that bracket competing the way it should be. And Josh brought up a great point. Tell us about Chad.
Well, Chad Dalton was the returning state champion from the prior year at 140 pounds. And coming into the season, Jim had talked to Derrick and said, hey, we've got this guy at 145 and he's a returning state champion. And Derrick was trying to decide on which weight class he wanted to wrestle, and he wanted to wrestle Dalton. Derrick loved wrestling the best guys. And he was that guy that, he would kind of seek out. if we were going to a tournament and he knew there was going to be a stud at a weight class above him, he would ask to wrestle the weight class above him so that he could. He kind of sought out those guys. So
I can see that, and as I guess the universe would have it, I actually wrote down in my research you had Isaac Knable, who goes on to be a 4-time state champion at 140 pounds, and his teammate Zach Steinbach, 152 pounds from St. Xavier.
Yeah.
And of course St. Xavier wins the team title that year, so he had 2 studs right there in the middle, plus a returning state champion. So you were kind of in no man's land. So I guess stepping up to the plate, worked out good for him.
Sure.
So all 3 of you guys win your semifinal match. And in your video, which we filmed right here, you might recognize the block behind us because we filmed it right here in this exact spot here in your office here at the school. You said that you guys go, I think it was Coach Reeves.
Yeah.
So kind of all 3 of you got, I guess Derrick would be up first. So you see Derrick win by a tech fall. He's up first, 145 pounds. Are you like in the back in the practice area? Are you watching? Kind of
no, we were probably watching. The dungeon was real easy to watch from the. You'd come out of the practice area and kind of stand in that little area.
Yeah.
There's a little warm up area. So we would. I'm sure I watched his match, and he beats a kid from St. X, and again we were kind of in the team race at the time, and so he beats a St. X guy, and then I wrestle a St. X guy in the semis, and I beat a St. X guy in the semis. So we feel like we're scored some team points there, and then John wins, and after we all 3 win, Jim gets us out of the arena, says, hey, you guys go with Coach Reeves, and so we go and rest and get something to eat and kind of take a little break before we come back for the finals introduction and stuff.
And of course you were the first video when we were at Coach Matney's funeral. I come straight to you. I was like, hey, I got this idea, what do you think? And we filmed it. We had a meet over here, and whenever you told that story about going to the hotel, going back, kind of chilling out for a little bit, so many people along the journey that we've been on doing this they said that was such a great idea. What we never thought about sending our kids back to the hotel, sending them to somebody that we know in the area. There's been some guys like when the state tournament was in Louisville, like Tendai Cherisika. He said he went back to his house. Chris Zenner from St. Xavier went back to his house. Of course, when you're 2 or 3 miles from the place, of course, go back to your own house.
Sure.
Get in your own shower, have mom, whoever, make you some food. But that was so cool of a little nugget that you said that you guys went back, with Glenn, and I think, was it at his daughter's house?
Yeah, it was at his daughter's house. I think she lived in Georgetown or something.
And that, that was so just like, wow, man, that was such a great little piece of history that nobody would have ever known.
Yeah.
So I would have to imagine now, that's going to be a common thing to have. Hey, go back to the hotel. Get out of here. Go.
Yeah.
Don't lay in the bleachers. Go back. Go sleep somewhere. So you guys go back to Coach Reeves' family's house. Are you like? Can you sleep? Are you amped?
Oh yeah, we slept.
I got you.
We got our stomachs full and passed out all over the couches and stuff, and I remember we slept for a while. So.
I got you. Now, like on the ride back over, are you guys like jovial? Are you happy to be there? Are you going back expecting, hey, all 3 of us are winning it?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to say we all thought we were going to win, but we were excited to be there, and it's a good feeling when you've got your buddies there with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I couldn't imagine. I don't know how things would have went different for me had I not had 2 teammates in the warm-up area with me at the state finals. And I was a lot more relaxed and calm because they were there,
And of course, your video's on the channel.
Yeah.
John's
is on it.
John Dials' video's on the channel, and you win a decision, a pretty good decision over Scruggs there. Derrick wins a pretty. Well, we're not going to tell you the score, but we're going to go over it.
Yeah.
And then John, he gets a pin like it's nothing.
First period, yeah. He just
comes out, just boop, puts that. And whenever we done his video, he was just so nonchalant about it. Just like, I was supposed to be here.
The funny thing is, John was asleep in the warm-up area until I wrestled.
Oh,
and so I had to go wake John up and say, hey, I'm up, and he came out and watched me. And then John never warmed up. He just... it was like a big sleeping grizzly bear.
I can see that with him. He comes out, and that kid he wrestles from KCD. He just, it's not even close. It's really not. So normally this would be the part of the video where we would show the medals, show Letterman jackets, but instead we are going to show some photos. Scoured the social media, after Derrick passed away. We found some photos, and we're gonna show them here like we would the video. Of course, we have the video as well, but we're gonna kind of let Josh talk us through because there's some great memories in here. So the first one you guys are seeing is, I think it's the 1999-2000 team photo. And I think we have Derrick there on the front row, kind of in the middle there. We'll highlight him right there. You guys can see, great team right there. You got Joey and Josh on that team. There's some studs. 1, 2, 3, 4 5 state champions in that photo, I believe.
Yeah,
4 or 5.
Josh, myself, Billy, Derrick, John Dials. I don't think not pictured. I guess he missed school that day.
And I see Dan.
Dan, yeah. There's another one. Yeah.
Nick Lewandowski there. Wow. That's names I haven't seen in a while. Then going to the next one. This was in the yearbook. I'm not exactly sure what tournament this. Who's the guy handing the trophy?
That is Nick Lewandowski's father. That's
okay.
Leonard Lewandowski.
Okay. All right. And looks like Derrick's trying to run like a crazy.
Got 2 legs.
Got
in
legs
power
in.
half,
Got the
it looks
half
like.
in.
Yeah.
Post that arm out there,
Post
Derrick.
his
Come
arm,
on.
yep.
What are we doing? Then I think this is the 2000 team.
Yep, that's 2000.
And great bunch of dudes there. Coach Jim Matney there in the back. I see Xavier. I see John back there. A couple other dudes you recognize.
Yeah.
And that was, of course, at your all's original school.
Yeah.
2001 team. Now this was your this was your guys'
This is our senior year. Yeah.
Your all's team, and just a great bunch of dudes there. Those very traditional SCHS. In case you don't know, the black and white is doesn't do it justice, but those are like a red
and royal blue.
Red royal blue on the side, white lettering. Of course, you guys will see that in the video. And I have to say, Brad Stafford and Ryan Kelly's those white
Yeah,
singlets.
I ordered those my first year as a head coach.
Dude, those are sharp.
Yeah, those
I
are
would
some
have
of
to
my
say
favorites.
those are on the Mount Rushmore of best singlets that I've
Those
got
are
on the
slick.
channel. Then right here, I'll let you tell a story about this.
I think maybe Hubert Collins or somebody was our representative. Every time we did well at a state tournament, he always wanted to take us to the Capitol and recognize us. And so, you can see Jim and Debbie there.
Yeah.
They were always really eager to go down and get our guys from Eastern Kentucky in front of, people that, don't really
Right,
know
no,
Eastern Kentucky.
right.
So
And I see
just say we're doing good things.
and
Billy
that's
Clark.
Governor Paul Patton there in the middle. And
Yeah.
I think this might be the first photo I've got with John Dials without a hat on.
Yeah.
So John, shout out without a hat. This was in the 01 yearbook. Derrick running like a bar there, some type of wing. I'm not sure who he's wrestling. Really
I think
can't
that's
tell.
Huntington High School.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. And then this was the AMVETS. I'm not exactly sure who the veterans are there.
No, I'm
but
not sure. Most outstanding wrestler, I'm sure, at that tournament.
if I'm not mistaken, the AMVETS was always like a week before districts.
Yeah, it was really close.
Okay.
Really close to districts.
If you know who the vets are, if they're no longer with us, just post them. We know a lot of you guys are going to be watching this, especially Derrick's family. And then here is Kentucky's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Do you remember taking this photo for school?
Yeah, I do. This was the week after the state tournament. They brought us on the gym. Yearbook photo. So. And
of course, all three of you guys right there. It's a great to have. You can just tell the another photo with John without a hat on. So I don't know how they managed to do that, but you can just tell, man, you guys are all just like, I guess, a look of accomplishment, relief that it's over.
Yeah.
Man, we finally, all those...
Probably still beat up from the state tournament, honestly.
all those years we had to run.
Yeah.
And then I think there's a couple photos that we found on social media. Now, this was a tradition that Coach Jim Matney had, picking these guys up, carrying them off the mat. I mean, both these gentlemen have passed away, and that's why this series is so important to me, that we can, document it, have it forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I really wish we would have started the series when Coach Matney was still alive. I really wish we could have got with Derrick. But, we're going to do our best to honor both those gentlemen. This is in the dungeon. All three of you guys have won.
Yep.
John's got his cricket hat on.
Yeah.
Trademark. There's one Josh has the that red singlet on we was talking about in the black and white photos.
Mm-hmm.
Now tell us this story.
So after the state tournament, we'd planned on going home that night, and when we had 3 state champions, I guess Coach Matney decided we'd just stay another night, and so Debbie ran out real quick, and the state tournament usually ended pretty late.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where she found a cake, but she went out and got a cake, and congrats, and had our names on it. We ended up at a McDonald's in Frankfort, and we got something to eat, and it was probably midnight by this point, and she found us a cake, and so we had a little party at McDonald's.
I think that's some of the best life stories. We ended up at McDonald's. We're not sure what time or how we got here. We just ended up at a McDonald's. I think there's couple more photos here. So that is,
That's
guess
at our regional tournament.
Okay.
That was so we had John, Derrick, myself, Billy, and then John Thompson there, who ended up being a 2-time state finalist for us. We were all the regional finalists, I think, that year.
Okay, and of those 5 that's there, 4 of the 5 placed, 3 of the 5 won it, and then Billy, very, very, very likely would have won it, and wins, like I said, next year. Tech falls in the finals. And then this was a collection of photos that somebody had posted of all the, I guess, 01. I see the 01 guys. I see Dan. I think that's Xavier up there in the top right. Just all you can just tell what it means to you guys, getting that lift, and Jim getting to do that for you. When Reese Goss last year from Johnson Central, 144-pound state champion, won it. Chris Goss, Sheldon Clark's first state champion, and I guess to honor Coach, picks him up, carries him off, and the whole gym, lost it. It was just such a great visual, and that's in the video. So about the 2001, we actually have a lot of that. We have the Parade of Champions, we have the face-off, we have the match, and medal ceremony. So we're going to get our TV set. We'll see you guys there. This is Derrick's senior photo from the Sheldon Clark yearbook. Now, I do have to say, you might be able to help us out with this. Whoever went through and posted every single Sheldon Clark yearbook on the Facebook page, kudos to you. I'm not sure who that. Do you know who it is?
I have no idea.
I'm so glad that you've done that, because it has helped me out with my research so much, and being able to have this just for situations like this. And most of the photos you guys saw were photos from the yearbook, some from Facebook, but most of them was from the yearbooks that have been posted. So it's just so great. But this is Derrick's photo. I think he's got I can't tell if it's Ohio.
It's probably SCHS.
SCHS, okay. Probably had wrestling practice or something, Dave, or football practice or something. But we're, like I said, Derrick recently passed away as of this filming. We're going to kind of read a little bit of his obituary. You guys are going to see it, though. Derrick Lee Mollett, age 40, of Louisa, Kentucky, passed away March 1st, 2023. He was born January 22nd, 1983 in Louisa, Kentucky, to Oakley, Donna Mollett of Fort Gay, West Virginia, and Rita Setzer Rick Napier of Valparaiso, Indiana. In addition to his parents, he's survived by his wife, Heather K. Sammons Mollett, one son, Derrick Lee Mollett Jr. of Louisa, Kentucky, 3 daughters, Jasmine Mollett of Warfield, Kentucky, Madison Mollett of Paintsville, Kentucky, and Caitlin Mollett of Louisa, Kentucky. 1 stepdaughter, Haley Preston of Dry Ridge. 1 brother, Michael Allen Sandra Mollett of Bourbon County, and 1 sister, Crystal Rodemeyer of Lexington, Kentucky. He's also survived by several nieces and nephews that love him dearly. So it's, just 10 days, I believe, as of this filming, after Derrick passed away. And our condolences to the family, to all of Derrick's friends, his teammates, classmates, whoever is, going to be watching this. Our condolences to you guys. Now we're going to jump straight into the video, Josh, man.
Yep.
Parade of Champions.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let me turn down the volume just a smidge. We're watching this on, what's it called again?
It's a ViewSonic board.
ViewSonic board. And we think Derrick was coming through there in the hat or that shirt right there. But this 145 pounders, we'll figure it out.
Man, I miss this atmosphere.
Oh, dude.
It's unmatched.
Now, Sheldon Clark brought a big contention because all three of you guys in the finals.
Yeah. At this point, we had a pretty good crowd.
We're going to cut straight to the match here. So 9:07 p.m. and this 145 pounds, so it had to be after midnight when you guys got out of there. I'm not sure who the referees are. If you know who they are, put them in the comments.
Now, Derrick's go-to takedown was an outside sweep or head inside single, sweep single, and you'll see it here in a second. Right there, he attempts it. Good job stuffing it.
Yep.
I think Dalton tries to come back with his own. He actually gets in on the leg. Derrick whizzers out. I mean, you're talking about two state champions on the mat right now. Derrick was always real swift on his feet. He moved really well. One of the best wrestlers that I can remember ever, wrestling with.
Now, I think you said it was your dad filming this. Is that correct?
Yeah, Dad films this. Little camcorder. Use the little
Oh,
VCR
dude.
tapes.
And I'm glad he did.
Yeah.
I mean, so you got a little bit of a filling out process. Two studs trying to fill each other out.
Neither one of them are gun shy. They're both ready to pull the trigger on a shot.
You can hear the Simon Kenton crowd.
Right there, there's his head inside single. He kind of sits him back in the crackdown, I think, here. Now, I've watched this match a few times in the last week. Yep.
There it is.
Yep, secures the takedown.
Two.
Now, the thing with Dalton is he kind of liked to get into, he forced scrambles. He was kind of a funky wrestler as far as rolls and stuff. And you'll see him, me and Derrick and myself watched this match a couple years ago at our 20-year class reunion. And there's a point you'll see at the end of either the first or second where they get into a scramble. And Derrick is basically, his airways cut off. And he said, Josh, if that period would have been 10 seconds longer, I would have passed out.
No kidding.
And you'll see him, he kind of falls back on his butt at the end of the period, and he's getting ready to pass out. It's not this period, it'd be probably the end of the second.
And you used the word scramble there a couple. He defers. He's going to take down.
We're always going to bottom.
What was, not necessarily what he does here, but what do you think his best stand up or escape was?
Jam and get hand control right off the whistle,
right,
just like that.
just like he done
hand
right
control,
there.
puts it in his back pocket. Comes out with the leg.
All right, gets his one.
This is escape. Now you're getting ready to see a really slick head outside single right here. Boom.
Oh,
look at that.
yes, sir. Boom.
Man, that was awesome. I'd seen that 100 times out of Derrick. He was that good, and he would hit it on really good kids.
Good. And this era,
right here, you'll see what I'm talking about. Dalton just likes to hook and roll, and
the 01, 02, 03, you can really start to see scrambling become more common across every way, every school, because the even in the 90s, 80s, 90s, 60s that we have, I guess the mindset was, let's try this move. If we don't get it, let's completely reset. Try something else instead of chaining, scrambling. So you can really see. So this is one of our predecessors for scrambling right here is Derrick.
He gets caught Peterson. Yep.
So give up reversal right there.
I don't think he gave up any
near
fall.
No
near fall, but yeah, he did. Yeah, gave up the reversal.
When you're wrestling return state champion, you're going to get caught with something at some point.
These guys don't go out of bounds a lot. It's kind of a quick match because they wrestle right in the middle.
I don't think he's going to be able to get that on him. I don't see it getting a...
No, he wanted that cradle though. Right here. No, oh no, not that's not it. Nice little sucker drag out of the front headlock for a reversal right there.
2 reversal. So I think
right here is where they kind of get into. Now right here is where Derrick said the air was getting cut off. He's kind of got his head almost in a headlock position.
Oh,
Watch at the end of the period.
Oh yeah.
Just see him fall back.
He sure did.
We watched that at our class reunion. He said, "Man, I was almost out. I was really close."
I think they're conferring on for loss of control.
They're going to say loss of control here.
All right, so they must not have give it. So Green is going to take down. Let's go. What are we waiting on, Mr. Official? All right, so I think he goes optional start here.
Well, he asked Coach. He said, "You want?" Because Jim said, cut him if you get in a scramble. So you want me to cut him? He said, "No, ride him for a little bit, but if you need to, just cut him and let's go neutral." He didn't want to get caught in any of those rolls again.
No,
He'd already been caught in a Peterson situation one time, and then, almost choked out another time. So.
And as good as he'd been on the feet.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's another roll.
So Green's still down.
Mm-hmm. Now he just decides to go optional start.
Smart. And back then you just couldn't look at the ref and give the warning.
No, you couldn't do that.
I think I've got it 7-2.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice sprawl right there.
Left-handed high crotch. Chasing the corner. Sits to a crackdown.
There it is, 2.
Yeah.
I think it's 9-2 now.
Yeah.
Or no,
Derrick
9-3, 9-3, because that Peterson roll, and Derrick cut him.
Derrick liked that kind of head lever, head and armpit ride to a bar. Tight waist. He had really long arms for a 145 pounder. So when he got that tight waist, I mean, he was wrapped all the way around you like a seatbelt.
Oh yeah, you can see.
Yeah.
Stretch Armstrong here.
Yeah. I believe he just gives up some points. No.
That's it, Coach.
There it is.
Jim's going crazy in the background.
Gives a fist pump to the crowd. He was a competitor, man.
Oh, yeah. There it is, man. Senior going out on top. We're getting ready to see the trademark Jim Matney. Man, what a visual.
Yeah, to get to see it from the crowd.
And then, of course, we got the medal ceremony, and you have a state champion that you've coached, Branson Smith, and instead of him or you picking him up, he decides, he's like, you know what it's time for?
Yeah.
Hit you in the big ladder right there on the mat. Everybody in the crowd's like, oh my gosh. Rodriguez is the name that comes up back in that. He's a really good wrestler.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, so you see your teammate, win it. And then There he is, man. That bracket.
And he set the tone right there.
That's what I was going to say.
We couldn't lose after that. Like, me and John had no other choice.
And this is about the right time, the right age. I'm a defined 18 to 35-year-old male. He got into like MMA. He done some MMA fights. And from all the stories we've got, he was pretty good.
Yeah, well, Derrick, I mean, as far as just sports in general, he was a lot of people don't know, Derrick was a really, really good football player. Played some fullback, played defensive end for us. Wrestling state champion. I think he did some track meets in the spring. Was a very good distance runner. MMA after high school. Did well in that. Derrick was, and I'll say this about Derrick, when I say that he's one of the best guys that I've ever wrestled with as a teammate, that includes high school, college. I mean, he was the kind of guy, had he decided that he wanted to go and continue his education, which Derrick was a working man, he wanted to go to work after high school, and so as far as going to college and stuff, I don't think that was on his radar. But had he chose that, Derrick would have been as successful as anybody that as anybody that I would know, because I wrestled in college with guys that Derrick had. Andy Critchfield was a good wrestler, a good successful college wrestler, and he'd wrestled Andy in high school, and he had a close match with Todd Allen. I think one year Derrick did at state tournament. And Todd was a phenomenal college wrestler. So
2001 state champion from LaRue County.
So Derrick, had he chose to continue his education and go on to wrestle in college, I believe the sky would have been the limit for him as well. So
I fully believe that. So you guys, to the family, friends, classmates, teammates of Derrick Mollett, we really hope that this video brings you some enjoyment to Derrick's life, and you can have this forever. We just want to celebrate the life, the wrestling legacy, let the family, the friends, like I said, just everybody take enjoyment in this. Josh, do you have anything to wrap up this video?
No, just again, we talk about Derrick's his wrestling ability and stuff like that, but just outside of wrestling, Derrick was a really genuine guy, really humble guy too, and I don't know that you can be humble and arrogant at the same time. I wouldn't say arrogant, but he was a very confident wrestler when he walked into a tournament, but he expected to win, but at the same time he was very humble in his wins.
I got you.
And just all around just a great guy. I mean, kind of you hear it all the time. He'd give you the shirt off his back. Well, he was really, if he had something that you needed and he could part with it, he'd give you the shirt off his back, or he'd give you his last dollar if you needed it. He was just a genuinely caring, good dude. So,
and I think that's a perfect ending for this memorial video. Like I said again, family, friends, classmates, teammates, anybody that knew Derrick or know the family of. Again, we hope you take some enjoyment, some comfort out of this video, that we were able to, shine this light on the life of Derrick Mollett, and, just have this video forever, cherish it. And if you need to reach out to me, you can. If you don't have my contact, Josh has, I think, every possible way. He even can smoke signal me sometimes. So again, that's all that we have. Thank you, Josh, for having me today over here. I really appreciate it. And I'm not going to say we're going to see you on the mats because it doesn't really fit this video, but Derrick Mollett, rest in peace.